That's why I love to compost in the fall. Hello and happy Monday, everyone, or happy whatever day it is you happen to be watching. As always, today we're making a compost pile. Let's get to it. There are several different methods you can use to build your compost heap. You can just build up a big pile, or use 4 pallets as walls to hold your material in a heap. And there are even several types of small compost bins you can purchase that are designed to be kept on your porch or even in your kitchen. I like to use the pallet method because you can get free pallets at many bigger stores and all you have to do is ask. I had these ones lying around, but I've gotten them from a local building supply store in the past. The idea is to set up the pallets so they form a rough square and you pile your compost material in the middle. The pallets hold your heap together as the material breaks down. Alright, now we're going to secure it so it doesn't go anywhere. I just used garden twine here to secure my pallets together. It doesn't need to be too tightly done up because the pallets will need to be moved to turn the heap every few weeks. It's not perfect. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be pretty. It'll do perfectly well. I had a compost heap here before. Not last year, but the year before. So, yeah. There's that. Now all we gotta do is fill it. Fall is a great time to compost because it's a little cooler, so things like to pop up, like around here especially, grass likes to pop up. So it's a good way for us to get green material, and then if you have a lot of trees like we do, it's a great way to get brown material as well. And a great way to mix it in together is just to mow over it. It mixes it up in the bag and you can just dump it straight in to the compost heap. So that's why I love to compost in the fall. It's so easy. Your heap needs 3 things to make successful compost: brown material, or carbon, green material, or nitrogen, and moisture. Mowing is not only an easy way to mix up your green and brown materials, it also gives me a chance to clean up the garden for easier prep in the spring. Some common brown materials are dry leaves and grass, shredded paper and cardboard, corn husks and stalks, wood chips, wood ash, and you can even use dryer lint and coffee grounds. Your green materials will be anything from grass clippings, livestock manure, food scraps, garden scraps, green leaves, and even used tea bags. Right here, I'm pulling out all the dead, warm weather plants, the most recent frost-killed. These will add wonderful nutrients back into the compost that will then be returned to the soil for next time.
I didn't end up having enough material to fill my heap after mowing, so I decided to dump all of the uncomposted material from my compost heap last year into this new one. Composting can be a great way to cut down on food waste, but there are a couple things that are generally not suggested to use in your compost. You want to stay away from using meat, bones, fish, or dairy items in your heap. They will eventually break down into compost, but take a lot longer than organic materials and can attract pests to your heap. If you are looking to compost these materials, there are composting bins specifically designed to handle this type of food waste. Another thing to steer clear of is pet manure. Dog and cat poop can carry E. coli and parasites that can be transferred to your food crops you use your compost on. Livestock manure doesn't carry the same parasites or bacteria that pet waste does, and most are non-transferable to humans, which makes it safe to use in your heap and as fertilizer. The final step to setting up your compost heap is to get it wet. I add water to the center of the heap until I can see moisture dripping out from underneath the pallets. This way I know that all the material has been wetted and can start breaking down. Don't worry if it feels like it's taking a long time to get wet all the way through. It generally takes several minutes for a pile this size to get thoroughly wetted.
There you have it. That's my heap. In a couple weeks I'm gonna turn it. It'll get more air into it. I probably don't have quite enough nitrogen or green material in there, so what I'm gonna do is, as I have it, I'm gonna throw in kitchen scraps and mix it in, and that'll help add more green material. So it might not be the best compost, but it should still be pretty nice. So I guess I'll just update you as I add more stuff to it.
And that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out my Instagram and blog, and if you like what you saw, please let me know, and I'll see you all next week.